folks, welcome to another edition of the No Stay Project, and this is our Tyranny Spotlight. And this is, I've spoken about this for a while, but finally able to get this together and posted. It is, the Tyranny Spotlight is going to be on Stephen W. Myhre. And this is the guy who is a U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. attorney, who was once again excoriated, I think is the word that the courts use, but we'll get to that. In the Bundy case that was tossed out for flagrant prosecutorial misconduct, and over 1,000 pages of documents that were not given. And this, as I mentioned before, Mr. Myhre is a serial offender. It's pretty much what he does. So if you're in a prosecution and you've got Stephen Myhre, you've pulled that, you're in Nevada, you know you've got to push the Brady violations pretty hard, because even still to this day, the judges are still giving this piece of garbage the benefit of a presumption that he's telling the truth, when the man has a serious problem telling the truth, which is why he is on our Tyranny Spotlight. So, let's get into the precious little information we have on Stephen Myhre. We got from Bloomberg that he did go to the University of Wisconsin Law School. And he also went to some University of Virginia School of Law sometime after that. I think I have the dates on that. He did graduate with a Juris Doctorate in 1985 from the University of Wisconsin, and in 1993 from the University of Virginia he got something else. So we do know that he was admitted to the bar in 1985 in Wisconsin, 1993 in Illinois, and then so he's with the U.S. District Court, the District of Illinois, the U.S. Court of Appeals, 7th and 11th Circuits, and the U.S. Supreme Court. In 2006, the Nevada, because now he's in the 9th Circuit, because he was the acting attorney, the acting U.S. attorney. He has been demoted because of his disgraceful behavior in the Bundy prosecution. So he did go to school in Wisconsin also, and so it's the I'm going to mispronounce, the Marquette University. He graduated in 1977, and this is from Martindale.com. Martindale Hubbell is a publication for lawyers, and that's how I was able to confirm that I had the right school picture with him, because while we're talking about precious little pictures that are available to him, all we have are this one that I've been showing where he was the lead prosecutor in the Bundy case, where he's apparently on the street walking around. We have this fuzzy one, and then we also have a artist rendition, a sketch artist from when he was prosecuting the Bundys. So I was pretty certain that I had the right guy, but then when I found the Martindale one and saw that I did have the right university, I do have this picture of Stephen W. Myhre in 1977 with the Marquette University there in Wisconsin. And yes, most likely to engage in flagrant, unconscionable prosecutorial misconduct. They knew even back then. So those are the only pictures that we have of him, so we have a decent idea of what the guy looks like. I believe that Stephen was born in approximately 1955, and from what I can tell, he was born and raised in in Wisconsin. So we get to why he is the subject of the Tyranny Spotlight, because in the Bundy prosecution, there was a mistrial that was declared by Gloria Navarro, who's a district court judge out there, and she dismissed it with prejudice, which means, of course, they cannot bring the prosecution back. And for them to dismiss it with prejudice means that the abuse and the violation has to be so bad that it prejudices the defendants and violates due process, which, of course, is what happened. Judge Navarro, and no, I cannot find the actual decision, so I have to go by what's reported. So Navarro told everyone in the courtroom a few weeks ago that the prosecutors, meaning Stephen W. Myhre, had made several misrepresentations to the defense and to the court that amounted to misconduct and prevented a fair trial for the Bundys. Judge Navarro stated that more than 1,000 pages of Federal Bureau of Investigation memos, the FBI, were kept from the defense until well past an October deadline. The agency failed in its duty despite years of investigations and 2 years of trial prep. 1,000 pages! And so it was described as flagrant prosecutorial misconduct. Flagrant. Now, as I mentioned before, this is not the first time. Stephen Myhre was the prosecutor on a case 10 years ago, approximately. That's when the appeal went through. It's called U.S. v. Chapman. And yes, I will have it linked in the show notes. And so Stephen Myhre is listed as counsel. And so when we go through, this is, of course, an appellate decision quoting from the trial court, which the trial court threw out. So the quoting directly here, this is one misrepresentation, which, similar to what he did with Navarro, Your Honor, if I could just advise the court in an abundance of caution, rather than find the record of what we turned over, we'll make another copy of everything right now and provide it to the defense counsel immediately. And the judge says, well, it's supposed to be turned over. It's not a matter of doing it now. And so, after a brief recess, Myhre comes back and says, Your Honor, we cannot find a record of making this information available to defense counsel. However, we believe that we did, or it was certainly our intention to do so. We're talking about 650 pages. 650 pages, just like the 1,000 that they didn't give in the Bundy case. So he's getting worse as the years go on. So thank goodness at least the judge here said that your belief isn't good enough. This stuff has to be disclosed to them. And they're saying that we did, but the judge says it's too late. So some of the other things that the court said, the district court expressed frustration, lambasting the prosecutor's conduct as unconscionable. Unconscionable. Says here, the district court listened to argument and then granted defendant's motion to dismiss, finding that the original assistant U.S. attorney had acted flagrantly, willfully, and in bad faith. Unfortunately, they didn't go so far as to say it was intentional, which, if it's flagrantly, willfully, and in bad faith, yeah, it's intentional. It further concluded that the government's discovery violation subverted the due process rights and the defendants are guaranteed under the Constitution, and also the Sixth Amendment right to confront adverse witnesses. Yeah, 650 pages worth. They did not. Stephen Myhre was responsible for not disclosing, and then he lied to the court. So he has a pattern of not disclosing evidence. These are serious Brady violations, and then he lies to the court about it. And unfortunately, they don't throw him in jail. Again, so here again, the assistant U.S. attorney acted flagrantly, willfully, and in bad faith, and that he made affirmative misrepresentations to the court. But they didn't hold him in contempt. In cases of flagrant prosecutorial misconduct, it says that dismissing an indictment with prejudice encroaches on the prosecution's charging authority. This sanction may be permitted only in cases of flagrant prosecutorial misconduct. Here, the district court specifically found that Stephen Myhre acted flagrantly, willfully, and in bad faith, just like Judge Navarro did, which is why they were able to throw it out with prejudice. And then Stephen Myhre repeatedly represented to the court that he had fully complied with Brady and Giglio when he knew full well that he could not verify these claims. He attempted to paper over his mistake, and it wasn't until the court insisted on proof did he acknowledge there was no record of compliance. So all through this, it's talking about flagrant. This is an appellate decision. Flagrant prosecutorial misconduct, and even when they knew there was a problem, Myhre did nothing to ensure that it had provided full disclosure until the trial court insisted that he produce verification, which he could not do. So he lied on a regular basis. Now, he says that he recklessly violated his discovery obligations and made flagrant misrepresentations to the court. Flagrant! It's called contempt. You should hold him in it. And here again, the last thing I'll put, only after I excoriated the Stephen Myhre, the assistant U.S. attorney, in the strongest terms, did he then offer an apology to the court. Not a heartfelt apology, but simply a response to me. And finally I said, be quiet and listen to me. Wow. And so the appellate court says that they're similarly troubled both by the assistant U.S. attorney's actions at trial and by his lack of contrition on appeal. And they talk about prosecutorial misconduct and that they completely disregarded the repeated misrepresentations to the court. He says that the government's tactics, Stephen Myhre's tactics on appeal, only reinforce our conclusion that it still has failed to grasp the severity of the prosecutorial misconduct involved here, as well as the importance of its constitutionally imposed discovery obligations. Wow. Wow. That's why Stephen Myhre is in the spotlight on tyranny, because like it says here, the government, meaning Stephen Myhre, egregiously failed to meet his constitutional obligations under Brady and Giglio. He repeatedly misrepresented to the district court that all such documents have been disclosed prior to trial. This is prosecutorial misconduct in its highest form. Conduct in flagrant disregard for the United States Constitution, and conduct which should be deterred by the strongest sanction available, which they had the option of doing, but they didn't. So I'll have this available. I'll have the links. I'll have these the documents I was reading from in the show notes. But that was U.S. versus Chapman from, I think it was decided about 10 years ago. They have the option of using sanctions, but they didn't give him any sanctions. This was done in May of 2008. So if they wanted to, they could just hold him in contempt as an officer of the court who's lying. They could also recommend prosecution, but they didn't. So Stephen Myhre, serial offender of flagrant prosecutorial misconduct. Who knows how many times he's just done regular prosecutorial misconduct instead of just flagrant. But the Bundy case and U.S. versus Chapman are only two examples that I know of. If I had the opportunity on Pacer, maybe someone could look that up. If we could look up other cases this piece of garbage is involved with, then we can get them listed. But Stephen Myhre is is in our tyranny spotlight for this edition, and unfortunately, complaints to the bar or anything like that won't do anything. But at least people have an idea of who this man is, where he's lived, and we have a pretty good idea of what he looks like. My name is Mark Stevens. This has been another edition of the Tyranny Spotlight. Until next time, salute.